Hey guys, what's going on? Jeff here from Films at Home, and it looks like we finally got a good 4K Terminator. Hey everyone, thanks for coming back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the brand new release from Paramount Pictures. We've got Terminator Dark Fate in 4K Blu-ray with Dolby Atmos, Dolby Vision HDR, and a true 4K digital intermediate. So this should be a really fun review. If you do like Blu-ray, 4K collecting, home theater stuff, even just movies at all, I think you'll get interested in my channel. Please remember to subscribe, turn on notifications, like all my videos. If you like them, if you don't like them, do whatever you want. But also leave a comment. Let me know what you guys thought of this movie if you saw it in theaters, because I missed it in theaters, so I'm checking it out for the first time here on 4K. So jumping right into this review, the first thing I want to talk about is the video quality. And we do have a true 4K digital intermediate, so there's no upscale here. This movie was shot at 4.5K according to IMDb and was finished at 4K for theaters. And so we're getting a true 4K release. That makes for a very good picture. The resolution upgrade over the Blu-ray is definitely noticeable when you have a true 4K DI. You can tell that there are upgrades on fine details, on skin, pores, hairs, even stuff like lights and the way that light sprays and lasers in this case in this movie, or gunfire and things like that that have very fine detail, just come across better on a 4K disc when it has a true 4K digital intermediate compared to the Blu-ray, where we're actually downscaling. Now in a lot of cases, Blu-ray is actually upscaled to 4K because so many movies are finished at 2K, but even with the amount of visual effects in this, it was actually finished at 4K, so that's really cool, and it was awesome to see them do that and put out a really great 4K release. Now the HDR is another interesting thing because it does make this movie much darker. Now it's not a bad thing. There are some scenes that take place at night where if you look at the Blu-ray and you look at the night sky, it's gray. It's not black, it's a grayish kind of bluish tint, and with the HDR, you immediately see a difference where that is a true deep black. You see the difference in people's skin tones too. You can see that a lot of people on the Blu-ray have this kind of yellowish orangey skin tone, which isn't really, as a Caucasian person, that's not what their skin tone is, and it kind of makes it look off. You'll see that a lot on some Samsung TVs. I've noticed in like Best Buy, they turn up the saturation on the displays in store and it just looks off. So I don't know what happened on the Blu-ray. To me, it looked a little off, too saturated, but on the HDR 4K release, the nice dimming quality that the HDR gives to this picture actually helps tone down the flesh tones and the skin color, and it actually makes it much more realistic, a realistic pale, more than the bright orangey yellow, which looks fake. So there's definitely some instances where HDR helps, especially with those scenes at night, but also skin tones. And a lot of the action sequences are, darker, but easier to see. The brighter details stand out better against the background. It's not as muddy, so that's always really great. Now for audio, we've got a Dolby Atmos track here, and it is awesome. Terminator is exactly the type of franchise that thrives on the surround sound, and this is no exception. There's tons of action, tons of gunfire, explosions, robotics, all that kind of stuff, and the Atmos effects are in full swing. All kinds of objects flying around your sound space from left to right. Heights are in full effect. There's plenty going on all around a 360-degree view in this movie, and so I'm so happy that there's an Atmos track on the 4K. There is also the Atmos track on the Blu-ray as well, and some people have asked me this when it comes to audio, so I will let you know there are subtitles for English, French, and Spanish. So that's just something some people have asked me who are watching this internationally, if they're buying it or speak a different language and they're in the US. It does have French and Spanish as well as the English subtitles on this release. So the Atmos track is great. Highly recommend it. It was busting through my system. I swear I had to turn it down a few times. I kind of have that base level that I like to set my home theater at, and every now and then there's a soundtrack that comes through that's so powerful that I actually turn it down a few notches. That was this one right here. It sounded great. Dialogue was very clear. All the surround effects were in full effect, and it was so good to hear the Atmos actually being used well. It's been a while since I had an Atmos track that was like in full use action movie like this, so it was just really nice to hear. I really enjoyed it. Now for packaging on this one, I've just got the regular 4K slipcover. Pop it open, same artwork on the case. Go on the inside, there is a digital copy, which I just removed, and then no artwork on the inside, just a black disc for 4K, blue disc for the Blu-ray. So nothing really special there in terms of the standard release, but there are some nice special features, although they're all on the Blu-ray. You get deleted and extended scenes. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes content, which is really cool. And there's over an hour of other bonus content, which they say right on the front, deleted scenes, action-packed featurettes, over an hour of bonus content. Most of that bonus content is the behind the scenes and kind of behind like the stunts and the action and kind of the story and how it all came together and getting Linda Hamilton back and Arnold and all that. So it's basically just about over an hour of content. So it's not like you're getting deleted scenes, action-packed featurettes, and over an hour of bonus content. It kind of all rolls together, but still some pretty good features on here. It's from Tim Miller, who directed Deadpool. James Cameron was also a producer on this, so there's some really cool insight from them as well. So those are worth checking out if you're into Terminator at all. So overall, this is a very worthy 4K release. I would definitely say if you're going to buy this on release day, go for the 4K over the Blu-ray. This is a true 4K title. It's got great Atmos. It's got great HDR, and it's just overall a really nice package. The Blu-ray is fine, but I had some issues with the coloring on it. You are still going to get the Atmos track, so you're not missing out there. But in this case, whenever there's a true 4K digital intermediate, I would always get the 4K disc because that's what makes the format great, is those true 4K titles. And so now's as good a time as ever to, buy Terminator Dark Fate on 4K. This one probably, I could see it being like a Black Friday title next year, but it's probably not going to come down in price much. Paramount prices stay pretty consistent, and so buying it on release day, I don't think you're going to miss out on some huge sale. I actually think this will do decent on 4K. I think it'll get some decent sales. The movie itself I thought was pretty good. It's better than most of the recent Terminator movies, although I selfishly like Terminator Salvation. But in terms of a 4K release, this is much better than Terminator 2. I hated the Terminator 2 release. I hated what they did with the color scheme, the HDR. This is a much better Terminator, and it is in fact the best Terminator that we have on 4K to date. And so for that reason alone, if you're a Terminator fan, I would say it's definitely worth a purchase to show it off in your home theater. So thanks for watching, guys. I will leave a link to purchase Terminator Dark Fate on 4K down in the description. Thank you to Paramount Pictures for getting this out early so I can let you all know about it ahead of the release. And I definitely think it's worth a purchase, like I said. So if you use my link, that helps support the channel. Also, make sure to check out all the other links down in the description to my merch store. I have some swag on there, which is great for physical media fans. I'm going to add some more to that soon and refresh that. Also have links to other things on Amazon, like my home theater seating, shelving, receivers, Blu-ray players, all kinds of stuff, movies, all kinds of stuff you can buy. Help support my channel. If you're going to buy it anyway, might as well help support one of your favorite creators. And also just remember to follow me on Instagram. I post a ton of stuff over there, and we got a really good community on Instagram for movie collecting. So if you don't have an Instagram account, I would highly recommend signing up for one. And if you do, make sure you find me on there at Films at Home and follow me. Thank you for watching. I've got some more 4K reviews to bang through. I got some really cool stuff coming from, again, Paramount, Sony, Disney, Lionsgate. I got all kinds of stuff coming. So just got to get through this content, do the best I can to keep up with the reviews, but hope you all appreciated this video. Check out Terminator Dark Fate. That's going to be available on January 28th, a week from the date that I'm posting this video on Tuesday. So get ready for that one. It's an exciting 4K release, and I will talk to you guys very soon with more content.